Sometimes I am just tired. I'm tired of pushing through. I'm tired of obstacles in my way. Sometimes it is just hard to move forward. So how do you do that? How do you move forward when you are tired from your past experiences? Relationships. Relationships more than anything in the world. At the end of the day, more than our stuff, our jobs, our titles, our promotions, our money, more than anything, relationships matter. And inside of that, I think we have 3 key points that will help us move forward. First, I want to check in on you. All right, down in the comments, give me an emoji. I want to see a happy face. What's that straight line? I don't even know what you call that. With just a straight mouth face, whatever that is. It's kind of blah. I'm here. Maybe it's a sad face. Maybe it's a laughing face. How are you feeling today in this moment in the comments? Come on, come do it. Come talk with me. I want to see how you're doing so that we can support you and interact with you. But today, we're going to look at the scriptures. Do you want to see the past sermon, the past kind of talks that we've had about the backstory of the children of Israel? Go ahead and click that video there. Come back and watch it. The Hebrew people have now experienced God's deliverance, both physically, emotionally, all of the ways God has supported them and helped them. He's even met their very real physical needs, but yet some reason this process of being delivered, this process of being set free is an everyday journey. Now they have walked themselves what is now going to be into war, and they're going to come out of this war, and we're going to see some very key points. Their leader, Moses, is wore out. He is tired. He has just been leading the people the very best way that he knows how. He's been trying to do every trick that he knows how to do, but he's been on his own journey, his own process, and he continues to just wear himself out. And we see this at key points. And I believe that there's something here, something that you and I can learn for. We can take away from his process, the people of Israel, his leader. He was the leader of them, and the things he went through and the wisdom that he gained that we can apply to our own lives. How do you push through when you're absolutely tired? We're going to be looking at Exodus chapter 17 all the way through Exodus chapter 18 for pieces of our story. And let's just jump right into it. All right, so God's leading his people. They're walking through the desert on their way to the promised land. And God knows that he's got to strategically kind of move them in specific directions, because if he leads them immediately in the straightest line to get to where they want to go, they're going to be met with a lot of adversity. A lot of people are going to come out and battle them, and they're not quite ready for that. So he brings them on a little bit longer of a journey. But finally, they have to face a battle. And this is the first little piece that I just feel connects. If you want to find success, if you want to achieve that thing, that goal that's set right in front of you, it's going to come with you pushing through. It's going to come with you and I having to face some real battles. We're going to have to face some real enemies. And sometimes those enemies are ourselves. They're mental enemies. Sometimes they're physical enemies. Sometimes they're professional enemies. But either way, if we're going to achieve things, you're going to have to push through. One of the greatest phrases is what I'm trying to say. One of the greatest phrases that was ever told to me by a mentor is that as long as you try to come and find success and raise to the top and achieve things in your life, you will deal with the ankle bites of lesser men. It's the crab theory. If you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, you don't have to put a top on it, because when one crab tries to get out, the other crabs will grab them and bring them back down. If you're going to find success in life, professionally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, it doesn't matter, relationally, you're going to have to push through and face some things. And that's what happened to the children of Israel. The Hebrew people are faced with their very first battle. And God tells Moses, hey, I want you to send Joshua out there to battle, and I want you to come up to this ledge. I want you to oversee the battlegrounds, and I want you to pray for the people. And so that's exactly what begins to happen. And this very unique thing that we talked about a little earlier this week begins to happen as Moses' hands are raised in prayer. The Hebrew people were being victorious. They were finding victory in battle. But as the day progressed and Moses began to tire and wear out, his arms began to drop. It's heavy to be a leader. It's heavy to pray. It's heavy to lead. It's heavy to support people. And his arms begin to tire. And as his arms would drop, the Amalekites, the people that they were battling, begin to find victory. And so they begin to bring rocks. They begin to bring support around Moses. And then even beyond that, Aaron, his brother, and another leader would surround him and hold his arms up. So he not only had the support of his rock, but he had physical support. He had people there to hold his arms up. And as the day progressed, the Hebrew people were brought over victory, and they found victory in their very first battle. God wants to be our rock. He is always there. He's the foundation of our success. He wants to be everything that we need for him to be. He is our Savior, our Messiah, our God, our salvation. He is everything that you and I need, but he also gives us people, really amazing human beings to come around us, to support us in whatever way that we need. And just like Aaron and this other leader was there to be a support, maybe I should go read what the leader's name is. I just forget in this moment. It doesn't matter. The point is that relationships matter more than anything. And in your moment of being tired, in your moment of trying to support others, of trying to be that thing for all of your family and your friends, God will give you people, relationships to come around you and to support that so that you can be your fullest self. Ask for support. Do not do this alone. Do not go at it alone. Even Paul began to write a letter to Ecclesiastes. It was the letter of Ecclesiastes to the church in Ecclesia. And he says, and though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two can withstand him. A threefold cord. That's not a statement that I've ever made before in my life. A threefold cord cannot easily be broken. You have to surround yourself with people who will support you emotionally, physically, spiritually, to be there to help you laugh, to be there when you cry, to be there to listen to you when you're losing your stuff. I just got off of the worst trip of my entire life. It was a nightmare. I will openly admit I was very, very close to a mental breakdown. As I've gotten older, I've never been good alone, but as I've gotten older, I thought, hey, maybe I'm doing better alone. I'm okay with being alone just a little bit. And actually, what I found out that as I've grown older, I have this tremendous need for my people. My people are mainly Tiffany. She is my person. She's my human. And worse than our puppy dog, I need my wife as support. Yes, I can do things alone. Yes, I was built to be alone. Yes, I am resilient, all of those things, but I really miss being with my wife whenever I travel. And I was delayed and stranded for 2 days in North Carolina, and I was losing my stuff. My wife was there to support me. She was there to listen to me, to help me. She listened to me cry and boo-hoo and lose it and get angry. And she helped me find hotels and settle down and calm down. We were never built to do things alone. You have support. Be willing to ask for help. Be willing to lean on the people that are around you. You can accomplish hard things, but it's much better to accomplish hard things with the support that's around you. And the way that you can push through, even when you're tired, is by leaning on the relationships that you have. So they find victory and they move forward. And now Moses' father-in-law is actually going to come for a visit. And if you're like me, you love that because my father-in-law is a manly man. I have soft hands and a soft heart, and I struggle with figuring out things. And this little YouTube studio that we're building out right in front of me is my favorite part of the studio. It is our pretty blue wall that we have up here with my nano leaf lights and some other things that aren't here yet, but they're coming, they're getting built. And I completely destroyed this wall trying to run a simple internet cord from the front room through the attic, through the wall to a little outlet that I was going to build. It was the craziest thing. I destroyed this place trying to build this simple, easiest task. And I love when my father-in-law comes because he helps me fix all of that. He helps me figure out how to, my brother's the same way, but I love it when my father-in-law comes for a visit. My other father-in-law, he's actually building my custom desk, and so I get excited when he comes over because I can nerd talk about all of these ideas that I have that those guys really have the skills to actually do. But Moses' father-in-law is coming for a visit. He's bringing his wife, he's bringing his kids, and Moses is sitting there doing his duty as a leader. He had figured out that he's the leader and he's trying to help everybody have wisdom, and he's settling all these disputes and cases and issues that are coming up, and he's sitting there all day. People all day long are bringing him all kinds of stuff from petty little things like somebody stole the cheese I had, or somebody stole my bread that I gathered, to big difficult things like somebody cheated on my wife, or somebody cheated on my husband, or somebody murdered my cow. Whatever it was, Moses was sitting there handling all of disputes, and Moses' father-in-law was watching this happen. He's like, Moses, this is not good. You are going to burn out. You can't sit here and be all of these things for these hundreds of thousands of people. Moses, this isn't good. This isn't smart. Listen, here's what you should do, Moses. You should find other key leaders. You should appoint them. over 50s and 100s and 10s and 5s, find them big and small, and put them over people to handle all of this disputes. And only let them come to you if they have major, big issues. If there are complicated cases, let them bring the complicated cases to you. And then you can go ahead and figure out the complicated things and let all of the other people lead the rest of the people who have all of these minor little discrepancies and issues that they're bringing to you over like cheese or goats or whatever it is that they're dealing with. And this is my second point that I know helps me be able to push through even when I'm tired, and that's get advice. I don't know it all. Two brains are always better than one. There are people who have other experiences, sometimes deeper experiences, more experiences because they're older. It's good to have people in my life that can see blind spots, that can just let me know, hey, you might not be able to see this, but I see this. You need to be wary of this. You need to be mindful of this. Here's some wise advice. Surround yourself with people who will give you wisdom and give you advice. Proverbs is full of wise advice. I love Proverbs. In Proverbs 19, it says, listen to the advice and accept instruction that you may gain wisdom for the future. Be okay with saying, I don't know. I just don't know. And I need help. Will you help me? And you will find that there will always be someone around you that will help you solve the problem. If you're Nate destroying a wall in a room that you built and you need to ask for help to figure out how to do this, which is the phone call I had to give to my father-in-law and to my brother when I was destroying everything in here, whether it's big issues that you're facing, whether it's professional issues, spiritual issues, relationship issues, be okay with saying, I don't know, I need help. Give me advice. What blind spots are there? And you will find that God has surrounded you with people that will support you. And the easiest way to move forward is not only having the relationships, leaning in on the people that will be my support, but asking for help, asking for advice. And then we get to the last part, the part that is probably the absolute hardest of all three of these points. The story goes that Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything that he had said. The last point, the last part that can be the hardest thing is to do the hardest thing in the world, and that is to finish strong. Finish it. Do it. Listen to the advice. Surround yourself with great relationships. Ask for help, but then after that, make a decision and follow through. Do it. Do the work, fill in the blind spot, listen to the advice, set up the structure that you need so that you can be the fullest version of yourself. And the next two pieces I thought were beautiful. These were letters that Paul had written to other church communities. Hebrews chapter 10 says, and let us consider how to stir one another up to love, push each other to good works, not neglecting to meet together. Don't avoid it. Bring it together. Come back together as a habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. Then he writes to Galatians, he says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Carry each other, be there, support one another. And then Ecclesiastes, he says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift the other one up. But woe to him who's alone and he falls all by himself. There's no one there. Then again, if two lie together, one to keep the other warm, they're going to be there to keep each other warm. But if you're by yourself, you can't keep each other warm. And though a man prevails against one, we already talked about them, he cannot prevail against two. All of these scriptures just to say it is better to have two people. It is better to have a community. Be willing to ask for help, but then do the work. Make the decision, follow through on the advice and the blind spots that people have pointed out to you so that you can be the fullest version of yourself. You've got this. You can do this. You have the relationships in your life. You have the relationships surrounding you to be the support, to be that rock. This is where a spiritual community is so important, but just any community to surround you and support you. Be willing to ask for help. Be willing to say, I don't know, I need advice. What do you see? And then finally, make decisions and follow through. Do the hard work. You have it in you. And when you're tired, when you are tired from the events of your past, to move forward, it's going to be our relationships, the support, the advice, and making good, sound decisions that help us move forward. I hope that encourages you. I hope that that is a blessing to you. I know it's going to encourage me because I get tired. I get weary. I don't want to do it anymore. And I have to push through because I know I have great people around me who are there to support me, listen to me, give me advice, and help me make the right decisions to move forward. Catch up with the series that we're currently in called Process by watching the playlist that comes up at the end of the video. Come catch any of the ones that you've missed in the past. I believe that there's some things here that encourage us, that move us forward so that we can be in the best process possible and have the brightest future, the future fullest of potential and help by just moving forward in a healthy way. And then homechurch217.com. You can see our story, see what we're about, our values, how we got to where we are. You can see a way that you can submit prayer requests or baptism requests. If you're looking for a community, you can see where to come meet us here in the New Orleans area. Or if you're not from New Orleans, connect with us anyway. We want to help you. We want to help you find a spiritual community. We want to walk this out. homechurch217.com. And then my favorite thing, homechurch217, anywhere that you download apps, our custom app there. You can see our latest media. You can see when and where and how we meet. You can also connect with our in-app messaging groups. You can let people know what you need, how we can support you. You can meet other people that are part of our community. You also have a Bible reading plan, a note application there, like all kinds of cool stuff. homechurch217, anywhere that you download apps. And then finally here on YouTube, come be a part of our YouTube family by clicking subscribe, hit the like button. It helps us out. It pushes this out to other people who are part of this community. Come be on this journey. We want to walk this out as we grow closer in our relationships with each other and our relationship with God. I cannot wait to see you as we continue to unpack this series called Process, as we follow both the Hebrew people and Moses as they went along their journey in Exodus and grew in their own leadership and qualities as they grew closer to God and walked into the promised land. And that's what we want for you. That's what I want for me. We're going to do this together, so come be a part of it. homechurch217.com, homechurch217, anywhere you download apps. And then finally, hit subscribe, come be a part of this community. I cannot wait to see you again next time. Until then, God bless.
Yeah. Smash that like and subscribe.